All right, guys, going to be getting into the sleepers and shoulder shrug plays here for the Masters. Now, both those categories kind of go hand in hand. A sleeper and shoulder shrug plays are both players that we're not exactly going out of our way to play, although a sleeper kind of has at least some sort of statistical sign that they could go out and have a solid week, whereas the sleep or as a shoulder shrug play, there's no real reason to go out of our way to play them given their price point, but there's also no real reason to go ahead and fade them. They're players that if you end up on, it's the last player in your build, you kind of feel good about it. So we'll get into that right now. All right, so the first sleeper is actually going to be Colin Morikawa. That's mostly due to the fact that recent form hasn't exactly been the best. Been really kind of hit or miss. Had that one victory where he kind of figured it out with his putter, and it's kind of been struggling. Other than that, now, really, 6 starts, two top 10 finishes, and then kind of mixed results there. He's a strong staff hit though, guys. Top 5 in the field. And that's what we're going to be hanging our hat on. That's kind of why he's still popping in the model. Course history average. It was his first start here in 2020 in that fall season. Nice to see him make the cut. And much like one of my favorite players, Corey Connors, can't really knock them for making the cut and having an okay finish. The Masters is a tournament in which you need to have strong course history, so it's nice to see him make the cut. I could easily see him going out and getting a top 10 finish, maybe even contending as well. Man, that'd be cool for him, just kind of career wise. But overall, he's not a player that you exactly want to go out of your way to play, but he does have some upside with him as a pick. And then kind of the same thing for someone like Joaquin Niemann. Now, he is priced this low because, well, he doesn't have good course history. 2 missed cuts. Don't like that, but much like Colin Morikawa, strong staff. He actually is the second best staff in the field. We can kind of see why. Everything is looking great here, guys. Recent form average could be a little bit better, but it's still not bad. He's been playing some solid golf. He's a guy that could easily go out and get a top 20, top 25 finish. Wouldn't shock any of us if he contends. Might be a little bit shocking, but still, I wouldn't be overly surprised because he's just been playing some great golf. As price point, it does make sense to kind of take a risk with him as a pick. Then we look at Ryan Palmer, kind of the same thing. I would say he has just as much upside as Joaquin Niemann. A little bit cheaper, it makes sense if you guys are going to take someone that's a little bit more risky. Course history wise, both of them have missed cuts, but Ryan Palmer, top 5 staff hit, a little bit better recent form average. To be honest, they're pretty much the same, but in terms of maybe trying to get a top 20 finish, I think I'd rather just risk that with Ryan Palmer than I would Joaquin Niemann, although both those guys, strong staff hits, decent recent form, so they would make sense as a pick. And then another value play is actually going to be Jason Kokrak. He's another one of those guys that are popping stat rank wise and also do have good recent form. Once again, he's one of those guys where miscut at the Masters. That's the worry there. Do like the top 10 finishes there, though. Nice to see. All right, guys, so now we're going to be moving down into those shoulder shrug plays. Now, remember, these are players that you don't really have a reason to go out of your way to play them, but you also don't really have a reason to fade them as well. The poster boy for that has actually been Patrick Reed. He's always priced pretty much appropriately, and he's one of those guys that really are never going to be a strong fit data-wise ever. He's one of those guys that just have a random solid week. That could easily happen this week. We know that Patrick Reed can go out and play really well at big events. He's really solid at that. So really with Patrick Reed, there's nothing that says, hey, go out and lock this guy in, but there's nothing that says, hey, we shouldn't be playing this guy. He could easily go out and win this week, and it wouldn't shock anyone. And that's why he's kind of a shoulder shrug play, because I'm not saying fade him, but I'm not saying go out of your way to play him. If you end up on him as the last player into your build, I feel pretty good about him as a pick. He should be able to make the cut and probably will return some upside for you. Another one of those players are going to be Sergio Garcia. Now, Sergio won this tournament in 2017, then followed it up with 2 straight missed cuts. But the thing with Sergio is he really wasn't playing well those 2 years. This year he's been playing pretty fantastic, guys. Already has a win at a top 10 at the Players, played well at the Dell Technologies match play. He's a top 15 staff hit as well, which hasn't been that for a while. Okay, really this year he's playing so much better. At 7.9, he's not exactly someone that you want to go out of your way to play, but if you end up on him, you kind of feel good about it, and you kind of like the upside that he presents for a former champion. Then we look at Adam Scott once again, guys. So Adam Scott, very similar pick to that of Sergio Garcia. Now, Adam Scott really this whole year has been finding ways to make the cut, but it hasn't been pretty, okay? I like the fact that, cuts, he's made 13 straight in a row, made 4 straight cuts at the Masters as well. Only a top 52 stat rank play, but he's one of those veterans that I think are going to be able to figure it out, going to make the cut. Kind of just one of those guys where if you end up on him and you're 6th player and you're just, whatever, I'm fine with it. Not going to adjust the rest of your build because you ended up on him as the last player in your build. And then another one of those players are going to be Louis Oosthuizen. Now, I feel like Louis is a little bit better play than a shoulder shrug play. But just lineup path, I haven't been able to end up on him that much. So for me, he is going to be a shoulder shrug play. Only ranks out top 14 of them. I shouldn't say only, but there's nothing that really says, boom, quality play. But there's nothing that says he's a horrible play either. You know, recent form average, 30th. Course history average, 26th. Stat rank, 31st. So overall, that is exactly what we like to see. Just not someone we're going out of our way to play, given the fact that we have some other quality plays in his price point range this week. That's all I have for you guys for the shoulder shrug and shoulder sleeper picks here. Have a bunch of content out for you guys. Core plays video, bets, fades, and value plays video out there as well. Definitely check out all of that content this week. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you guys want to join 9 to 5 Nation, click the link in the description below. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and as always, keep cashing.